In this video, we are going to discuss the top 10 discrete manufacturing ERP systems in 2025. So let's dive right in. Hello everyone, my name is Sam Gupta. I am principal at Elevate IQ. Elevate IQ is the independent, vendor-neutral technology advisory firm. We all are clients with the digital transformation strategy, change management, as well as technology selection. On that note, let's go back to today's topic, which is top 10 discrete manufacturing ERP systems in 2025. We publish a lot of different manufacturing lists, and this particular list is going to capture this more from the discrete manufacturing perspective. The product that are heavier from the discrete perspective do really well on this list. Now, these discrete manufacturing companies may have overlap with some other manufacturing processes. For example, discrete manufacturing could be make to stock, make to order, engineer to order, a lot of different lists that we have published related to those manufacturing modes. Sometimes discrete manufacturing may also have the process manufacturing centric processes that may be included as part of the product, but generally these companies, sometimes they might be 80% discrete, 20% processes, depending upon your business model, depending upon how you are structured. Overall, if you're not familiar with discrete manufacturing, this is going to be the whole unit. Generally, in comparison to your process manufacturing is going to utilize some sort of percentage formulas when they are going to issue any of the ingredients. The discrete manufacturing, in most cases, are going to utilize just the whole unit, the way their parts are released, the way their products are sold. In general, the discrete manufacturing products are going to be very physical in nature, and the examples are going to be any sort of chair or car, anything that you can touch or feel, versus the process manufacturing, which is going to be slightly more liquid, milk, food and beverage, and some of the pharma-centric manufacturing or the product types are going to be process manufacturing examples. So again, this list focuses only on discrete, which is going to be your physical products, the products that are released in whole unit as a whole. So that's just a brief about discrete manufacturing. Now, the criteria that we have used to compile this list: product share, acquisition strategy, focused on discrete manufacturing, any sort of product roadmap, community ecosystem, win rate, technology strategy, investors, and now we are focusing a little bit on AI roadmap as well. So now let's look at the list. Number 10 on our list is Plex. And Plex in general does really well in the automotive centric verticals. And these automotive companies are going to have predominantly discrete processes. Sometimes they have some of the process manufacturing processes as well. For example, if they are producing any sort of plastic centric component or any of the liquid that is going to be used as part of their automotive manufacturing processes, then they might have the process manufacturing component as part of their manufacturing processes, but for the most part, they are going to be discrete. So Plex does really well in those automotive centric ecosystem. They are generally very MES first, meaning the plant is going to take priority over the other ERP centric processes. The way their processes are organized, some of the skill sets that they utilize, they need to be part of the way your quality is going to be done, or the way your scheduling is going to be done on the plant floor. So you have a little bit of ACM component that sort of go as part of your MES. They are going to be doing a lot more processes in the MES as opposed to the ERP process. So again, the whole architecture is very different in these verticals, and Plex is designed for that. It does really well in those spaces. So if you are going to be any sort of automotive centric, either suppliers or OEMs, and you are going to be in that Ford and Toyota ecosystem, they can provide a lot out of the box compared to the other products that we have on this list. Some limitations to keep in mind. Overall, when you look at the scalability of their ERP layers, you will need to find a lot more workarounds compared to the other products. So that's going to be a little con. Overall, the product is very focused. It's very prescriptive. So it's not designed for generalized business models or generalized use cases. So again, if your business model is always going to be restrictive and you don't see that you are going to outgrow that, in those cases, Plex could be a great fit for the plant-centric operations. Sometimes they can be used as the two-tier, but not as capable for the generalized scenarios, the way some of the other products are going to be superior fit for that. So that's number 10. Number 9 on our list is Dalmia Works, and Dalmia Works does really well in the discrete centric spaces, but Dalmia Works has both discrete plus process. They have done really well in the process centric verticals as well, especially plastic centric companies. So in most cases, when you are going to have hybrid of your discrete plus process, then Dalmia Works could be a great fit. Overall, the model is aligned more towards very heavy engineering centric processes because they do really well in the aerospace centric verticals as well because of the way the model is designed. So again, in these cases, if your discrete manufacturing is going to be around these verticals modes, then your Dalmia Works IQMS could be a great fit. Some strengths to keep in mind. Overall, the synergy between your SolidWorks with IQMS product, it's owned by the same company, so there are a lot of synergies that you can utilize. And again, if your business model includes discrete, predominantly discrete, because this is a discrete list, but then you have some process manufacturing capabilities as well that you require, a lot of other products will require an add-on, or they might not have process manufacturing capabilities as well. And sometimes you are shoehorning with your discrete processes. If you have both of those, this product can support both of those as well. In the way the suite is constructed, it has a lot of supply chain suite component as well as part of the suite. So if you care for all of that integrated as part of your model, then this could be a great product. Some limitations to keep in mind. Overall, compared to the other products that we have on this list, their technology is probably going to be the most legacy. It has not been upgraded. We are not aware of their roadmap, if they have done any sort of investment in upgrading that technology, if it is going to be comparable with the other products. So that's going to be a huge roadblock for them. And again, not as scalable for all discrete industries. Among discrete industries as well, there might be nuances. So it might not be applicable for all of those industries. And ecosystem and consulting base is probably going to be limited as well, just because this is a very prescriptive product. So that's number 9. Number 8 on our list is QAD. And QAD does really well in those supply chain heavy companies, as well as in the contract manufacturing centric space. They do really well in the automotive space. And all of these industries, for the most part, are going to be discrete centric industries. Some industries among them may not be discrete. For example, let's say if you look at supply chain could be food and beverage as well. And sometimes those food and beverage companies are process centric industries. They might not be discrete centric industries. So QAD can do both, just like your Dalmia Works. It has support for both of these processes, even though the process manufacturing may not be as strong. In general, QAD also supports the supply chain centric processes as part of their suite. So they can only support very specific product type, and generally they are very selective in terms of who they want to work with, just because of the support of their PLM CAD that is going to be limited to very specific micro verticals, micro industries that they are able to support. QAD in general is a very global product, so it can combine global trade capabilities as well compared to some of the other smaller products. For example, Plex has a little bit of global component, but it's probably not going to be as strong as QAD as far as this specific capability goes. And then QAD, they have announced that they are re-architecting their product. They are completely rewriting their product. So now it is probably going to be cloud native. But now with AI, it's going to be a very different experience, very different architecture. So right now we don't have a product that is going to be completely AI native. It just does not have as much adoption at this point of time. So we are going to find out, how QAD or any other products on this list are going to do in the new world of AI. But right now, their technology is very legacy. The install base that they have and the new product that they have launched is not as well adopted as their legacy. So that's going to be a little con there. Overall, their ecosystem is limited. The model is not as diverse as some of the generalized product. So that's number 8. Number 7 on our list is Oracle Cloud ERP. Oracle Cloud ERP is much bigger product overall in terms of the support of the transactions, the kind of business model that it can accommodate as part of the same model, same database, same product. So Oracle Cloud ERP is going to have much deeper ERP-centric capabilities, financial capabilities, but it may not have as deep operational capabilities. For those operational capabilities, it is either going to rely on customizations or third-party add-ons, and that's where you sort of increase the implementation risk. And sometimes the implementation is going to be far more expensive than some of these mid-market products that are going to have these integrations pre-packaged, but the model is going to be very constraining with them. So Oracle Cloud ERP, when you are trying to consolidate a lot of different business models as part of your global workload, you're a very large company. In those use cases, Oracle Cloud ERP could be a great fit. Some limitations to keep in mind. Overall, the last mile capabilities are going to be supplied with third-party vendors. So again, you require a lot more IT maturity, as I have already pointed out, and the implementation is probably going to be expensive. So that's number 7. Number 6 on our list is Acumatica. And Acumatica is much smaller product compared to your Oracle Cloud ERP. It's meant for discrete companies that are going to be very small with very limited geographic presence. In terms of the consolidation, how many different countries you want to host as part of the same model, same database. If you have only a couple of countries, handful number of countries, then Acumatica is going to be a great fit. It might not be the best fit for companies when they are looking for larger workloads, a lot of different countries. They want to support localizations of those countries as well. Then Acumatica is not a great fit. But Acumatica can support a lot of different business models operationally, not necessarily financially. Operationally, they can support a lot more business model. So if you are going to have very hybrid, complex business model limited to fewer countries, then in those cases, Acumatica is going to be a great fit. Overall, it's a very strong discrete model, the way the product is designed, but Acumatica does not support process manufacturing natively. For that, you are going to require an add-on, and even the quality module is going to be very limited as well. You might require a third-party quality module for that. So that's number 6. Number 5 on our list is SAP S/4HANA. SAP S/4HANA is a very similar product as Oracle Cloud ERP, even though SAP S/4HANA does slightly better among product-centric companies or discrete manufacturing companies. They do a lot more heavy lifting operationally compared to your Oracle Cloud ERP. But for the most part, companies are going to use SAP S/4HANA when they are consolidating a lot of different business models, entities globally. Then it is going to make sense. And for the operational capabilities, you are going to rely on a lot of different IP add-ons, customizations, configuration, and that's where you are going to increase the implementation risk. It's going to be slightly more expensive as well. So that's number 5. Number 4 on our list is Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O. And Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O can support both discrete and process. And it's a very similar product as your Oracle Cloud ERP, SAP S/4HANA, even though the size of the logos that Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O may not be as large as your SAP S/4HANA or Oracle Cloud ERP. If Microsoft Dynamics 365 FNO is going to have a large logo. Generally, the scope is limited in those install bases. The only thing they are doing is financial consolidation. And for the operational capabilities, it generally relies on a lot of different add-ons, just because as part of the model, it is not going to have all of those deep operational capabilities. So, but the biggest advantage with Microsoft Dynamics 365 FNO is going to be their ecosystem. In general, you're going to find a lot more developers internationally. So that's going to be a huge plus. So that's number 4. Number 3 on our list is Infor Cloud Suite Industrial Sightline. And Infor Cloud Suite Industrial Sightline is a very strong discrete product for the SMB companies. It is not going to have all of those global processes from the discrete manufacturing perspective. So if you require global operational synergies among your entities, then Infor Cloud Suite Industrial Sightline may not be the best fit. It might be able to support a couple of countries, but generally the number of countries that it can support is limited, just because it's a SMB product. It's not necessarily the large product compared to the other products that we have on this list. In general, for the discrete manufacturing, the kind of BOMs that they have, costing, it's very detailed, it's very scalable. If you are going to have any sort of configure to order centric processes as part of your discrete manufacturing, it has great support for that. Field service centric processes as part of your discrete manufacturing, it has great support for that. Any sort of quality processes combining all different perspectives, whether you are going to have procurement centric quality control or the sales centric quality control or the in process quality control, it is all configured as part of that part of the model. Some limitations to keep in mind. Overall, I guess the user experience that it is going to have, it's not going to be as natural as some of the other cloud native systems that we have on this list. If you are going to be a discrete company, which also requires WBS centric or project manufacturing centric processes, it might be able to support a little bit of project manufacturing, but again, it's not as deep when you get into those WBS centric scenarios. It is also going to be limited in its support for complex inventory scenarios. For example, spaces such as your metal or medical device, in those spaces, it might not be the best fit. It might require an IP. It might not be able to support all of that natively. So that's number 3. Number 2 on our list is Apicor Kinetic, and Apicor Kinetic is also a very strong discrete manufacturing product. It may not be as strong from the process manufacturing perspective, even though they have a little bit of process manufacturing capabilities as well, but again, it does not do well in that. So if your process manufacturing exposure is going to be very limited, you might be able to manage with those workarounds with Apicor Kinetic, but for the most part, it's a very strong discrete product, especially in certain verticals. For example, when you are going to require support for your complex inventory, you are looking at metal, medical device centric industries. That's where Apicor Kinetic is really strong in those discrete verticals. And then any of the regulated centric spaces, for example, aerospace, where your revision number is going to be mandatory, in those discrete verticals, Apicor Kinetic is going to be a great fit as well. Overall, the way the financial processes are structured, so even though Apicor Kinetic does really well in the smaller logos, the larger logos will require a lot more workarounds in accommodating all of those financial layers, as well as the financial processes. So that's where Apicor Kinetic is going to struggle a little bit. So that's number 2. Number 1 on our list is Infor Cloud Suite LN. And this particular product is very strong from the mixed mode manufacturing perspective when companies are trying to consolidate a lot of different global manufacturing workloads, manufacturing business models as part of the same product. Overall, it's a discrete product, so it's not going to have as strong from the process manufacturing perspective. For process manufacturing, either you are going to require a lot of workarounds or you might require an add-on if that might be available in their space. But for the most part, it is a very discrete focused product and designed for very complex discrete products that are going to be highly engineered, highly configurable. Other products may struggle in those scenarios. And Infor Cloud Suite LN is also going to have all of those global processes for global trade compliance, etc. All of those are going to be part of Infor Cloud Suite LN. Just some limitations to keep in mind. It's probably going to be expensive. It's not a small product compared to the other products that we have on this list. And the ecosystem is going to be limited as well, just because it's a very prescriptive product. And 90% of the prescriptive products, their ecosystem is very limited in general. They might not be as diverse. So that's number one. If you enjoyed this video, we are going to include a link for the report that is going to have much deeper analysis. So you might want to check that. We publish these videos on a weekly basis, and we have been publishing them for the last couple of years. So if you want to go back and check those, you can do that. You can find them on our YouTube channel, and you might want to hit subscribe button if you don't want to miss them for future years. This podcast is also available in the audio form on major podcasting channels, so you might want to check that. On that note, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.